My name is Nikki Brown. I would like to talk to you about how too much screen time is very unhealthy for our children. I would like to share with you some research that I had that explains the adverse effects of the screen time. Have you ever seen the movie Bird Box by Netflix? She had a lot of trouble, but I'm thinking today's youth probably wouldn't have that much trouble because they don't really look up from their screens anyway. Why not be blindfolded? Today's youth have a real problem navigating in any situation that doesn't involve some sort of electronics. We need to get our children to stop staring at these screens and to move their bodies, use their brains, and engage with the world. As a preschool teacher, I very often hear parents say, be good at school today, or, tablet, phone, whatever the device after school. Many times, the children are using those devices in the car before they're even out of the parking lot, sometimes even before they leave the classroom. I don't know what to say about these electronic devices. They are seriously damaging our children. They don't have to think for themselves. They don't have to use their imagination, entertain themselves. We desperately need to get our youth moving. In my research, I found that the brain and the body and social skills are the areas that are most affected by the screen time. Children from 2 to 5 years really should only have 1 hour or less, none if possible, of screen time per day. Most children are getting between 5 and 7 hours. That might seem a little high, but I bet if it's added up between the time they get up in the morning before school, right after school, before bedtime, I bet it's pretty close to that in most homes. Parents who think that these educational games they're playing on their tablets and such are developing their brains, they're really not. I have some research that shows what devices that children can operate before they are 2 years old. Most kids by the age of 2 are learning to use a laptop. 34% of them can use a laptop or a cell phone. 33 to 30% can use a digital camera or a smartphone. This is just not acceptable. 13% of 2-year-olds can play video games, whether they be on a console or handheld. It's just not doing our children any good. Their parents are missing out on a lot of teaching opportunities when they're not playing the games. A board game would be better. A board game, the parents can interact and engage with the children. A lot of kids have books read to them online. It's not the same as sitting with your child and reading to them. It's really not. When you read to them, you can engage with them, ask them questions, they can ask you questions. You know how you read a book and you get a picture in your mind of what that story looks like to you? Kids don't do that. The device is telling them, this is what the author says this story is about and what it looks like. This is what the characters look like. You don't need to use your imagination. You don't need to come up with it on your own. This is it. Half the fun for me when I was reading as a child was getting that picture in my head of what I thought the story and the characters looked like. Children with behavior issues are often given devices just to keep them quiet, calm them down, get them out of the parent's hair or whoever. That's not teaching them to self-regulate their behaviors, to modify their behaviors. That is just teaching them that if they throw a big enough fit or act out enough, they're going to get the device. They're going to say, here, go play this game. go watch this show and they don't have to change their behavior at all. They need that human interaction. They need to learn to talk about what they're feeling, not just internalize it and watch a device to distract their brains. This is all leading to a very sedentary lifestyle for our children, which leads to a whole other problem, which is childhood obesity. It's running rampant in our country. It's compromising the health of our children. It's greatly affecting children's health, their minds. It has a lot of different effects. Childhood obesity has doubled in the last 3 decades. It's now a worldwide health problem. The media has been linked to a lot of it. These kids on their tablets, computers, phones, they're watching these shows that, are geared towards kids, and what do they advertise? Snacks. Fun snacks that kids want. They're not healthy most of the time, but it makes the kids think, hey, I would love for my mom to buy me this or my dad to buy me this. So we go to the store, hey, I saw this online, I saw it on my show, can we please get it? The parents buy it, the kids sit and eat it while they're watching their shows. Boom, obesity epidemic. Because they're sitting in there watching their screens and not moving, not going outside. They're staying up late and watching these shows, which means they're not getting adequate sleep. If they're tired, they're definitely not going to go outside and play, ride a bike, jump a rope, anything like that. Not getting enough sleep is also puts children at risk, or anybody, but especially children at risk for obesity and diabetes. Of course, obesity can lead to diabetes. It's going to snowball. We've got to get our kids moving. Our screen-dependent society is raising children that are just at risk for all sorts of health problems, but a lot of it is obesity and diabetes. Children aren't being taught to react socially. They have a lot of social anxiety. They would rather stare down at their screen than look up and engage with people. We need them to engage. They need to be socially active. A lot of kids won't look you in the eye. We have several kids in my class that will not look you in the eye. You can say, so-and-so, please look at me while I'm talking to you so you can understand what I'm trying to say. We need to talk about your behavior, or I want to tell you what a good job you're doing on this activity. They won't look you in the eye. Most kids. They just turn away and their minds are going in 50 different directions, which I realize is partly being a kid, but also it's because they're thinking about something else all the time. They don't slow down and think about what they're doing and concentrate on anything. They constantly want to be going on to the next thing. I'm not saying kids should never watch television. I'm not saying that at all. I liked to watch TV when I was a kid, but we've got to restrict it. We have to get them moving. I can't find any positives to say about the screen time for hours and hours every day. There's just no advantage to it. There's no reason. And we have to take that on and get our kids out moving. Children need to think for themselves, move their bodies, engage with other humans. If we don't take away the screens and engage with the youth, the future may be very sad. It's headed that way. Too much screen time may get kids out of your hair for the day, but at the cost of what? Their brain development, their health, social literacy. I'd like to challenge you to take any children in your lives, whether you're a teacher, you have Kids of your own, grandkids, nieces, nephews, I don't care, your best friend's kids, the neighbors. Just take them outside, take them for a walk, ask them if they want to throw a ball around. If they have a bike, see if they want to go for a bike ride. Just go for a walk. Anything to get them moving. Draw them away from those screens. Do what you can to get them active, engage with them, talk while you're doing these activities. Ask them how their day was. Engage their minds, engage their bodies, and just get them moving and away from the screens. Our youth, it's dangerous. It really is dangerous. We've got to get them out there. We've got to get those screens out of their faces. So that's my challenge to you. Any child in your life, take your time to get them active, get them moving. Read them a book. It doesn't have to be walking. Read them a book. Ask them questions about it. What do you think this story is about? Just take my challenge. Get some youth together with you and get out and get moving. I've got some slides I'd like to show you that have some information on here.